Welcome to Fight Waves. Audio Journeys by Kung Fu Academic. I'm Verca Partikova, and I would like to take you behind the scenes of fighting, living in a training camp in Thailand, and my lifelong journey through the martial arts. I am the Kung Fu Academic, earned my PhD in sports psychology, after which I decided to leave academia to become a professional fighter. Step with me into the ring to share the raw reality, the continuous search for mental strength, and all the ups and downs. Today's episode is about fight circuits and fight camps. I have done my last fight circuit 2 weeks ago when I thought that I will be fighting my next MMA fight, but then unfortunately it's cancelled, so I will have to wait for my next one to do a fight circuit. And I do have a love-hate relationship with them. I know they make me better, but also it's such stress to do them, and I'm not the only one feeling this way. But let me explain to you what is it, because maybe you have seen people going through the fight circuits before their fights on socials, on some maybe documentaries or YouTube. So let me explain to you what the hell is going on there. So a fight circuit is a circuit where the coaches or the team is trying to prepare the fighter for the fight in terms of the conditioning, the lungs capacity, and also the stress. It's said that the fight will never be worse than the fight circuit, so this should give you some idea of how bad it is. I used to love them. Like, I would go to the gym every Saturday when they do them for the fighters that are about to fight. Usually just few weeks before the fight, and so I would go and watch. It's really great to watch these, and it's very humbling because so I would walk to the mats and there are these really amazing people, fighters, UFC fighters, so like other promotion famous people or people I know from the TV getting ready for their circuits. And I'm like, "Hey, so are you ready? Like, are you excited?" And they're like, "No, man, I didn't sleep. I'm about to cry. Like, this is horrible." And it's so humbling to hear such thing from someone so experienced and so good. It's humbling, and it's also like very inspiring, and then you see them going through this, and it looks horrible, but at the same time I'm like, oh, this actually looks like fun. So what you do during a fight circuit, so it simulates the fight. So, but when I saw the circuits, I was like, oh, I can do it. It looks like fun, right? That cannot be like too different from like my typical fitness class. So first time I did my circuit for an amateur fight, which I'm like really grateful for, because usually these are only done for the pro fighters. So when I was first time allowed to do this, I thought I'm gonna die. Like, the first round, I remember like half of it, and then just black. I remember my body screaming at me like, "Stop, I can't go anymore." And your mind is like, "Oh my God, stop." And you just keep going. Like, you need to not listen your body and your mind. The best advice I got before the circuit was like, just don't listen the voice in your head. Don't listen to it. It's really difficult, and you cannot breathe, and you don't know where is left and right, and people are screaming at you. Everything is happening at high pace. You are tired, you can't even lift up your arms, you have no air, you want to break, you want to stop, everyone starts screaming at you once you start moving a little bit slower, but they also start cheering for you, if you hit the pad with the crispy sound, if you escape from, I don't know, in a wall wrestling situation or anything like that. It's very, very intense experience. I also happened to have my asthma attack during a fight circuit. So So I have asthma, which I think you got now. I have asthma, and my asthma is usually, very well behaved. I don't really feel it, or I don't even know that I have asthma. I keep my inhaler with me, of course, but I think I train my lungs pretty well. But what happened this year before my fight in April is that I got sick, and then I got infections in my lungs, and that triggered my asthma. And then so after, I don't know, years, suddenly my asthma was like, oh, I'm here. Have you forgotten about me? And I got like pretty bad asthma attack that took maybe 3 weeks to heal, which was my fight camp. So I did my first circuit having an asthma attack, and it was very intense, to say the least. And I always use this joke before a circuit now. I'm always like asking, so is crying allowed? And the response usually is, yeah, crying is allowed, but don't stop moving. The truth is, those circuits not only like they prepare you physically for the fight, but they do this mental magic on you. It gives you like a mental edge, because it's like a path leading to the fight, and if you go through it with each of those circuits, you feel stronger and stronger. Like, if you can survive this, you can survive anything. And it's also kind of feeling of like a privilege, like being in a VIP club, like if you can wear a t-shirt saying I survived a circuit, because they really are special. It's a very special experience to have. And as I said, I hate them and I also love them. And at the on the days when I felt like I'm being stressed about my fight and being too emotional, I knew if I do my circuit that I would feel good afterwards, because I know I'm putting all this hard work into the preparation, and it gives me some kind of like a self-confidence, quite a lot actually. And so this time, for my fight in Malaysia, I did 2 circuits per week, which at first sound like crazy idea, but then I realized I'm looking forward to them each time, because really every time after it feels like I'm a new level, a new level Pokemon, like like I evolved into a new stage, and like I feel more and more confident and more ready. Yeah, so actually in a fight camp, you are on a diet, you are doing fight circuits, um, you are doing all these unpleasant things. I'm thinking, why do we actually do this? Oh, yeah, because we love fighting, and you have to pay for the good experience. For anything good, you need to pay. And all this struggle that you're going through is your payment that you have the privilege that you can fight. So unfortunately, I had my last circuit those 2 weeks ago, and now no more suffering. But I can't wait to have my next fight circuit and fight camp. Make sure you follow me on my socials, where you can also ask questions, or you subscribe to my irregular newsletter on my website.